So you're sad because your system is balling all the way to Balltown, but no one can see your ridiculously awesome setup because there's metal and cardboard in the way. No fear, bro. The Corsair 760T has a giant window. Also, it doubles as an aquarium. Okay guys, this is the latest in Corsair's Graphite series of cases, the 760T, which you could see there if I didn't tear the sticker off. I guess you can still see it. Anyways, let's take it out of the box and take a look. Okay guys, here are the cases in all its glory. It came in this closed cell foam, so that's nice, and also in a bag, so that's an extra little thing, and a installation guide and a warranty card. So, the case itself, this model is the Arctic White version. It's also available in black, and it's the brother case to the 730T, and they're pretty much the same case, except that this one has a giant acrylic polycarbonate is what they call it, clear panel on it, and the 730T has a metal panel. Corsair's made this case for people who want to show off their awesome components inside their rig, obviously, which this does nicely, but the case itself also has some cool features, so let's take a look. The case itself is 568 by 246 by 564 millimeters, or 22.4 by 9.7 by 22.2 inches. So let's start with the side panel itself, since that's its most obvious feature. It's got a slight tint to it, so it's not 100% transparent. As I said, it's made of polycarbonate, and it opens all the way. As you can see here, it can go all the way back there, so that's great for when you're lying it on its back for building. You don't really have to take the whole thing off, but if you want to take the whole thing off, you can. It's super easy. All you just do is lift it off, like that. The other side is not windowed, as you can see, but it's still got a reflective surface on there to kind of go with the same theme. It's also made of polycarbonate, and it kind of works the same way. So let's take a look at the front. As you can see, it's the distinctive Corsair Graphite design, with the front kind of coming out of the rest of it. On the front, we have a removable mesh filter concealing two AF140L fans that are actually LED fans. So there's 4 LEDs that point in different directions, and that's pretty cool. And you can also replace those two 140s with two 120s, or a 240 or 280 millimeter radiator if you want to put that in front. We've got our three 5¼ inch drive bays here. On the I/O panel, we've got your standard power reset, two USB 3, two USB 2, mic and audio jack, and there's also this fan toggle button to switch between silent and performance modes for your fan, so that's kind of nice. And this button is actually the only other difference, as far as I know, with the 730T. On the top, we have a removable magnetic cover that you can use if you want a cleaner look. Take off if you want more airflow. The top supports three 120 millimeter or 140 millimeter fans, and also supports 240, 280, or 360 millimeter radiators. Taking a look at the back, we have an included AF140 fan that you can also replace with a 120 millimeter if you want. They have 9 PCIe expansion slots, so you are good to go for GPU expansion. They've got these holes for water cooling if you're old school and still have your exterior reservoir. I would have preferred to have rubber grommets, but I understand people, some people don't like that. It's a nice clean metal look, but you will have to punch those out with a screwdriver if you want to use those. Now there is a space for a power supply on the bottom, which can either be fan up or fan down. The 760T is raised on these legs to help airflow, so that's nice. It's got texturized rubber feet, so it's not going anywhere. It's got this removable mesh filter, which is unfortunately not long enough to extend to where you could put a 120 millimeter fan if you removed the hard drive bay. Speaking of removing hard drives, let's take a look inside. So to begin with, we have the box of screws and other doohickeys in here that's actually attached. Oh, hold on a second. And we have zip ties and screws and all sorts of things. So as you can see here, we have 2 hard drive cages with 3 toolless swappable hard drive bays each. So that's 6 altogether, and you can remove them and put them wherever you want. You have to unscrew them from the bottom to do that. But yeah, you can stack this one up here, or you can just take it out altogether. And you can actually purchase 2 additional cages if you want as well to support 6 more HDDs, hard drives. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, times 3 is 12 hard drives altogether, potential. Now with the drive cage, Moved up on top of the other one, the case can fit GPUs up to 340 millimeters, and without, if you leave it down here, it can fit up to 460 millimeter GPUs. Up here we've got 3 5¼ inch drive bays with toolless installation, and probably the easiest pop and locking mechanism I've ever seen to put a 5¼ inch drive in. So for those of you wondering about where do I put my SSDs though, on the back they have 4 toolless 2.5 inch SSD mounts that are themselves removable. You just take them out like that, and you stick an SSD in. Easy peasy. And to remove them, you just pull the lever back and slide it out again. That's actually really cool to see Corsair include that in this case. I haven't seen many of those. I know they're out there, but this is the one that I've directly interacted with those in there, and I think it's cool. And here's a closer look at the rear AF140 fan. This one does not have the kind of half-transparent thing going on that the front do, but it does have holes. It's the same model, so it does have holes for the LED, but the blades itself are opaque. This case supports all motherboard form factors, and as you can see, it's got a nice CPU cutout here for mounting liquid coolers. It's got clearance for heat sinks up to 180 millimeters, and as mentioned, you can fit up to a 360 millimeter radiator in the top here with lots of room for a push-pull configuration if you so desire. Now the bottom has room for any length of power supply if you want to remove the second hard drive cage, but most power supplies will fit in there without removing it. If you do remove it, you also, as I said before, have room to put a 120 millimeter fan there on the mount there. And inside, it has these nice grommets, rubber grommets for water cooling pipes. I wish it was on the back. It's okay though. I like grommets. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the Corsair 760T, guys. Obviously, the main draw to this case is the giant side panel window. Normally you have a panel with a window in it. This one, they just put the whole side panel is the window. So, I mean, to have a system worth wanting to show off with a giant window, you're going to have to, with giant graphics cards or LEDs or whatever, obviously you're going to want support for a giant radiator in the top, or 1500 watt power supply, or a fan toggle switch on the front. So in terms of, an enthusiast system, doesn't disappoint. So the Corsair 760T will be available in mid-April, but you can pre-order it now at NCIX for $189.99 for the white version, Arctic White they call it. The black version is $179.99 and the 730T is $139.99. Thanks for watching this unboxing, guys. Let me know in the comments what you would like to display in the window of the 760T. Like the video if you feel like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this from NCIX.